A very good evening and welcome to Prime Time News on MTV Sports, live from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Minoshi Rathasekara.
And I'm Madhushka Balasuriya. And today a one-of-a-kind sports reality program was launched. But more on this after your headlines.
Headlines on Newsfirst at 9.
Sri Lanka's first ever sports reality program, Super Fighter, launched. Will the Southern and Western Provincial Councils be dissolved? Warrant issued on the chairman of the Tangol Pradesh Sabha over the murder of a foreign national. Chief Government Whip of the Southern Province and his son joined the opposition.
Newsfirst at 9.
And now, extraordinary scenes were witnessed this evening at the MTV MBC head office building. The launch of Super Fighter, Sri Lanka's first sports reality show, saw a press conference being held in a boxing ring for the first time.
That's right. A joint venture by Newsfirst, MTV MBC Media Networks and MAS Holdings, Super Fighter Season 1 will provide yet another novel experience to Sri Lankan television viewers. This is Sri Lanka's first ever reality sports program. It's a first in many ways.
The media briefing to officially launch Super Fighter took place this evening at the Newsfirst headquarters premises in Colombo. What's more significant is that all bouts will take place in a boxing ring that meets international standards. Group directors of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, Mrs. Nidra Veera Singha, Mrs. Shanti Bahidaran and Mr. Shivan Daniel were present for the inauguration. Group Director of MAS Holdings, Diane Gomez, represented MAS Holdings. The next gold medal will not be from Colombo. It will be from Kilinochchi, Kogala or Hambantota. If we extend our assistance to children from rural areas, we can obtain an Olympic or Commonwealth gold medal for Sri Lanka in the first three weight categories.
Sri Lanka ran padakkamak Olympic ක්‍රීඩාවලදී ගෙන්නන්න.
අපි ලංකාවේ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක 25ම ආවරණය කරන විදිහට පරිච්ඡේද.
We aim to cover all 25 districts of the country in 16 phases through this program. In these 16 phases, we aim to choose 100 contestants in the first four weight categories, with 25 contestants per category. Out of this 100, we will choose 16 boxers. This will be narrowed down to the final 8, and finally, the 4 winners will be selected. We will then train them and develop their career.
Since we started the media 20 years ago, revolutionized the media landscape in Sri Lanka with innovative concepts and more than anything being a part of people's lives. And I think that is why we are known as the People's Channel. And if you take our tagline from news, it's Your Life, Our News. So that shows everybody that we always are very aware of the industry we operate in, and we know we can make a difference. And something like this would really give that youngster something to aspire to be. And of course the commitment of MAS in this makes it even better, because we basically will give a youngster that opportunity of realizing his dream.
The Capital Maharaja Organisation throughout its existence has continuously taken the ordinary and transformed it into the extraordinary. Boxing is a great opportunity. What we are striving to do is to take the sport to rural villagers and unearth raw Sri Lankan talent. This is something the Capital Maharaja Organisation has done in every industry, and we are proud of it.
Boxing with
Creativity goes a long way, because you need people who actually see what is good there and then taking it to the viewers. And in this way, the production team at Science Studios believe, coming from the past, some of the good products like the Superstars, Sirasa Superstars, the Dancing Stars, the franchise shows like The Millionaire has been done. Similarly here, capturing some of the best moments in sport and new talent will give the others who watch also the opportunity of wanting to become the same, and also motivate them to participate in sport. And we hopefully will achieve this through doing such productions, bringing to the viewers. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity for all of us to be experienced.
The objective of Super Fighter is to take the local boxing stars to international level. The Super Fighter bouts will take place under the supervision of the Sri Lanka Amateur Boxing Association and the Sri Lanka School of Boxing Association. Two closely contested exhibition matches were held at the conclusion for the media briefing to add to the night's excitement. Incidentally, this is the first time that the boxing bout took place at the car park of the Newsfirst head office premises. One bout was between former national boxing champion Manjuvani Arachi and current national champion Gayan Jaivira, in which the former champion emerged victorious. The first round of selections for Super Fighter will take place on the 13th and 14th of this month at the Bandaranaike College in Gampaha. Super Fighter will be aired on Sirasa TV from the 25th of this month.
Now moving into the rest of your local stories, the Western and Southern Provincial Council elections are currently the most talked about topic in the political sphere.
Yes, when will the provincial councils be dissolved and when will the elections be called for?
Newsfirst takes a look.
At present, the posters and propaganda hoardings of candidates gearing up for the forthcoming Western and Southern provincial polls can be witnessed in almost every area of those respective provinces. The tenure of the Western Provincial Council will conclude in May this year, while the tenure of the Southern Provincial Council will come to an end in October. A provincial council can be dissolved when its tenure comes to an end. However, if the Chief Minister presents facts to the Governor and requests the Provincial Council to be dissolved, the Governor can take steps under the Constitution to dissolve the Provincial Council. Thereby, the Southern and Western Provincial Councils could be dissolved in the present context. The Provincial Council will operate officially until the 27th of May. The Governor will decide in the future about dissolving the Provincial Councils. Many say that it will take place on the 12th.
The Chief Minister has not made a request as yet. If he makes such a request, I will do the needful. We are prepared for an election at any given time. They might be of the view that the Southern Provincial Council will be dissolved soon.
The Western Provincial Council consists of 104 provincial councillors. 68 seats of the Provincial Council are occupied by the United People's Freedom Alliance, 30 by the United National Party, while the JVP and the SLMC hold 3 and 2 seats respectively. Meanwhile, the Southern Provincial Council comprises of 55 members and the seats are distributed as follows: 38 for the United People's Freedom Alliance, 14 for the United National Party and 3 for the JVP. The parties affiliated with the United People's Freedom Alliance have been informed to submit their nominations for each district before the 15th. During the previous elections, we did not nominate a chief ministerial candidate. We will adhere to the policy when it comes to the Western and Southern Provincial Councils. We have nominated Comrade Lal Kanta, member of the JVP Politburo, as the leader of the Western Provincial Council polls. Comrade Nalin Hevage will be named as the leader of the JVP for the Southern Provincial Council polls. The General Secretary of the Democratic Party, Anand Manavadu, says they are yet to name the main candidates for the 2 Provincial Council polls. Meanwhile, the General Secretary of the United National Party, Tissa Attanayaka, said that permission was received to create nomination boards for the polls at yesterday's working committee meeting, and interviews are underway in this regard. Despite an official date for the polls not being announced as yet, Minister Mahinda Yapa Abewardena made the following remarks recently.
We will hold elections on the 29th of March. The election system, where acts of violence and election fraud was carried out, is no more. Elect people who will not engage in acts of fraud. Choose the people that you elect wisely.
We spoke to the councillors. They consented that a decision should be taken by me. I am not concerned with deciding on a date. We hope to announce the day of dissolving the council by Saturday. First they said it was the 22nd. Now they are saying it is the 29th. It is the Elections Commissioner who decides on the date for the elections.
The Chief Government Whip of the Southern Provincial Council, Justin Galapathy, and his son crossed over to the opposition today.
Yes, Galapathy addressed the media after handing over his letter of resignation to the Southern Provincial Council Secretary.
Even though I was in the government, I failed to provide the service that I wanted to. We can't develop the country while the people are in hunger. Our main priority should be the survival of the people. We need to reduce the cost of living. We cannot hope to move forward without doing this. Chatura Galapathy, who served as a UPFA councillor at the Matara Municipal Council, handed in his resignation to the Urban Commissioner today. Today my father resigned from the position of Chief Government Whip. I took the same decision today. I am prepared to follow in the footsteps of my father. I stand by his policies. Which party does not have issues of their own? Today, when ministers import drugs, the police are entrusted with distributing them. How can we expect justice in such a society? This is why people like Justin are leaving the government party.
Now, at a time when the government's chief organizer for the Southern Province crossed over to the opposition, various views are being expressed with regards to the chief opposition whip in Parliament, MP John Amaratunga.
However, John Amaratunga is currently on an overseas visit accompanying the president. What will his next move be?
Yes, let's take a look at some of the views expressed in this regard on various political forums.
Our friend John Amaratunga is on a pilgrimage with the president. What can we do? There is no point in berating us. Berating the world and the people in society instead of rectifying the mistakes in the own party is a great sin. Acting in a spiteful manner will only result in your deterioration. We see it in the election results. The chief opposition whip is with the president on an overseas tour. God bless the United National Party. This is the opposition of the country. John did not speak of ethanol in Parliament. He did not speak out on waste, corruption and bribery taking place. He remained silent due to political tours such as this. These are the same people who party with the three kings. By day, they berate the government, but once night falls, they work for it.
Will John Amaratunga join the government? If yes, type news space Y. If no, type news space N and send to 7788. You can also log on to www.newsfirst.lk and cast your vote.
You're watching Primetime News at 9. Up next is the newspaper cartoon of the day.